The topic of abortion is obviously very controversial. The amount of people who think it is a good thing are as many as the amount of people who think it is a bad thing, and both sides get very heated in the debate. I, for one, think it is intrinsically wrong to do, and it disgusts me how furiously some advocates will fight for this freedom. Before I start making my argument against abortion, I would like to first lay down some groundwork. I should first say that if we can't agree that babies deserve to have a right to life, then I'm certainly wasting my breath. So, I am arguing against all cases of abortion except for those that are made to save the life of the mother. I will explain why later. Also, I will be arguing as to why having an abortion is not in any way a constitutional right, unless again it is to save the life of the mother. The third thing I would like to argue is that fathers should have a say in whether the mother is able to abort the child. And finally, I will be stressing the importance of abstinence and family planning, as with these two things, there would be absolutely no reason for anyone to ever have an abortion. Now, to start building the defense of abortions, as with arguments, after doing some extensive reading, I have found that many people will use specific examples of abortion to defend it as a right. For example, if a woman is raped and does not want to be burdened with the thought of being raped every time they look at the child, then she should be able to abort it. Or if a woman gets pregnant due to incest. These arguments present some reasoning to allow women to have abortions. However, these are not the cases that are being fought for. So, only 1.5% of abortions are for those reasons. The main reasons that women do have abortions is either because they do not want their life to change so dramatically, or because they feel they cannot financially support a baby. Now that we have cleared up why people actually want abortions to be legal, we can start talking about it. One cannot use an exception to make a point, as that is a logical fallacy. I will discuss later why I do not even think that the exceptions should be legal. But for now, let's talk about the main reasons why people want abortions. Many young women have abortions because they feel they should not have the burden at that age, which to me sounds like a petty excuse in the first place, but let's talk about why it's wrong. A baby is a living thing. We were all babies once, and to say that they are just a parasite is wrong. Babies can feel pain at 12 weeks into a pregnancy, and people want to be able to have abortions after it was delivered 6 months later. It was said by Hillary Clinton that late-term abortions were had mainly to save the mother's life, which isn't true. According to statistics, the number one reason a woman has a late-term abortion is because her due date is miscalculated. Although even when the mother's life is in danger, a C-section is much safer than having an abortion. So even the argument to have an abortion to save a mother's life has a fallacy. Also, the number one reason for babies with fetal abnormalities being aborted is because there are children alive with Down syndrome. The argument made by those who are pro-choice is that people with Down syndrome have a terrible life and they should be able to stop that life from ever being had, which to me sounds truly demonic. But it also is saying that those with disabilities don't matter. It hurts my soul to see so many individuals saying they deserve the right to abortion without a reason, that they should be able to kill a baby even after it was born. Many women claim it is their constitutional right to kill their baby, but that is not the case. The reason for this is that the baby inside the mother's womb is not just a lump of tissue, it has organs and emotions. It is a life. According to the Constitution, all have a right to life, which includes babies. It does not say that all have a right to life without the responsibility of children. On to the topic of fathers being able to say they have a say in the discussion, and it is difficult to get into because of all the hypocrisy in this part of the debate. But the pro-choice defense is that a man should not have the say because he does not have a uterus. Let's think about this for a moment, though. According to pro-choicers, a woman has the right to choose, and her say is final on whether she will be a mother or not. However, if she chooses to keep it, the father has no choice in whether or not he is the father. He will be forced into paying child support without a say. This is obviously hypocritical, and it should be either one way or another, not both. I believe that when a man and a woman get into an intimate scenario and wind up getting pregnant, it is not the child of one or the other, it is both of theirs. This is the responsibility that comes with sex, as preventative measures can be made to ensure that women do not get pregnant. However, if having a kid would truly be too much for a couple, they should not have taken the risk in the first place. This is why abstinence is so important. There really is no need for abortion when we can guarantee that people will not get pregnant in a healthy manner. People will say that they cannot stop themselves from giving in to their desires, but that seems like a lack of self-control and a personal problem that really should be looked at. Even if people do choose to have sex, there is a method that will still ensure the woman doesn't get pregnant, because pregnancies can really only occur when sperm reaches an egg, and eggs are only available to sperm during ovulation, which happens once every cycle, around a week after the last day of the period. But sperm can live for about 2 days, so for about 3 to 4 days, if a couple just doesn't have sex, they won't get pregnant. Now, this isn't exactly 100%, because eggs can randomly become available to sperm, but it is a very low chance. Anyway, abortions are completely unnecessary, and when they do happen, it is wrong.